Hi everyone, I'm Bea and I'm here to teach you Italian in the most effective way as possible. In this video, which is the third one for the series of absolute beginners, I will teach you something that can be very difficult, or at least at the beginning can be very strange if you speak a language like English, where words, nouns, don't have any gender. Well, in Italian, every noun, even if it's a thing, a place, or an animal, has a gender. So in Italian, you can classify all the nouns by gender. We have two genders, feminine and masculine. We don't have the neutral that you can find, for example, in German. There is a rule that can help you because in general you can distinguish the gender of a noun by the last letter of the noun itself. Usually we can say that the terms, the words that end in a are feminine and the one that end in o are masculine. This is not a real rule, actually. There are a lot of exceptions. So my suggestion is to learn all the new words that you will find during your learning process with the article. So the article is a clue to remember the gender of the word, because in Italian the article changes depending on the gender of the noun. If a noun is feminine, we'll have a specific article that now I'm going to tell you. And if it's masculine, we will use another article. So if you learn the word, the vocab with the article just together, you will also learn the gender of the vocab itself. So in general, I suggest you to, remember this rule that in general, feminine words end with a and masculine with o, but also please, when you find a new vocab, a new term, a new word that you have to learn, check the gender and study the term with the article. So now, first of all, I will tell you the articles. We can start with the definite article. So what you have in English is just the. In Italian, we have different articles. If the word is feminine singular, you will use la. If it's masculine singular, you will use il. And if it's plural, you will use for feminine le and for masculine i. For the definite articles, we have il, which will, for the masculine, which will become i if the word is plural, and la, which became le. For the indefinite articles, so a, and in English, we have, it's simple, it's of course just easier. We have un, if it's masculine, and una, if it's feminine. So let's start with the masculine examples. So an example could be il tavolo. So the table, masculine, singular. In the plural, you will have I, the article for the masculine plural, tavoli. So the same word, but the different letter at the end. Then another example is il libro, the book. Il libro, I libri. Now, what happens when the word starts with a vocal? Well, when we have a vocal, we change the article. We don't use il, we will use l with an apostrophe. So, for example, l'armadio, the wardrobe. And the plural, l with the apostrophe becomes gli. So it's l'armadio, gli armadi. So I becomes gli when the word starts with a vocal. And then I will show you some words that are exceptions, so don't end with o, even if they're masculine. So for example, we have il cane, the dog, is masculine, but ends with e. And the plural will become I cani, so regular. So for example, in this case, when you learn the dog in Italian, you should learn it il cane, not only cane. Because if you learn cane, you will probably forget that it's a masculine word and you will have troubles in the future, I'm sure. So remember il cane with the article, the right article. Then we have, for example, il bicchiere with the sound the key that we saw in the previous lesson. Il bicchiere, the glass, is actually a masculine word ending with e again. So it's il bicchiere, I bicchieri. Now let's go on with some example of feminine words. So with feminine words, we can have, for example, la casa, the house, plural, le case. So la becomes le and a becomes e in the plural. Then we have, for example, la ragazza, the girl, le ragazze, the girls, la scuola, le scuole, la mela, le mele, the apple. Now again, what happens if the word starts with a vocal? We use again L with the apostrophe, but in the singular. In the plural, we don't use li, we use le again. So, for example, l'arancia, the orange, le arance. And then I would like to give you some examples of words that are feminine but ends with a letter which is not a. So for example, we have la mano, the hand. So it's a feminine word, singular, la mano, but it's ending with o, even if it's feminine, so you should learn it with the article, la mano. And then la canzone, for example, the song, which is also a feminine word, even if it's ending with e. So to conclude, you have to remember that de can be il, la, i, le, gli. So yeah, and also L with the apostrophe. And then to conclude, a final article, which is kind of particular, kind of exception that we have in Italian. When a word starts with the sound ñ, for example, gnocchi, the letter S plus another consonant. So for example, student, in Italian is studente. And when the word begins with la lettera Z, so for example, zaino, which is backpack, you use another article, which is lo. And in the plural, lo becomes again gli. This is just for masculine words that begins with la lettera Z, ñ, or S plus a consonant. Okay, now I show you another time a quick recap of the articles that we have been talking about. And now I would like to show you a quick recap of all the new vocabulary that you can learn. Okay, guys, for today was everything. I hope that everything is clear. Please ask me any question that you can have, that you may have. I will reply as soon as possible. I promise that I'm super fast, so ask me everything. I hope that it was clear. Thank you for following this video. Grazie mille, and see you in the next one.